Welcome back, everybody, to the NaNoWriMo 2023 edition of Soul Care Sundays. Fair warning, the opening theme does have some flashing, so close your eyes and podcast this if you need to for such purposes as personal health reasons, whatnot, and so on. We adore you. We love you. We are so glad to have you here as we address feeling the fear and writing it anyway. Let's get started. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the NaNoWriMo 2023 edition of Soul Care Sundays. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. Alongside the raw stories my characters weave throughout time and space, I do help other people like you get back to their creative phoenix mode by doing a various number of things around this channel. My sprints are one half of it on behalf of the Heart Breathings writing community. I'll get links out to you either in the description box or the chat box as appropriate, but also we do this during NaNoWriMo a couple of times a month. Now, mind you, what I just said applies. This week's episode and the episode we're having in 2 weeks are the last two episodes until Camp Nano April 2024. We're going to take a break. So I am very, very thankful all of you are here. Let me go ahead and introduce my panelists. I think Mel's backstage. Mel, you there? Do we have a Mel there? Do we have a K? There's a Mel. Awesome. Mel. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody. I am Mel, power writer of LBGT fiction and lifestyle coach to writers with full-time jobs. I am so stoked to be doing Soul Care Sundays again. So stoked, Jenna.
I absolutely enjoy having everyone here for it. And when you said you were like, I want to do it, I was like, I got to get them back. So Thank you very much for being here, Mel. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, we have, I promised, some old faces, some old friends. We have another old friend at the end of the roster, but we have some new friends today too. So very much thank you for the first time coming to backstage, at least on this stage, Lasanda.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, how are you?
I am just fine. My name is Lasanda, and I am author of romance, women's fiction, and children's picture books. I've been writing since I was a kid. Finally got the urge to start writing really once the pandemic hit. I had been studying writing, and the pandemic hit, and I was sitting at home, and I found Sarah Cannon's lovely channel, the middle of Preptober, and I downloaded everything, started prepping, and I did my first nano 3 years ago. Yeah,
so we could kind of say that this panel lineup wouldn't have happened literally if it weren't for Sarah Cannon's Heart Breathings writing community, because I think that's where all of us met.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and put the link, since we've now mentioned Sarah twice, put the link to Heart Breathings in the chat, and also bring in our next new friend, now known as Miranda. Are we muted, honey?
Yes, I was.
You're officially a streamer. You forgot the mute button.
Yes, newbie here on the camera, but not a newbie to Sarah's and Heart Breathings. I actually found her book website and Facebook page years before I found her Heart Breathings, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sarah and Heart Breathings and all the lovely hosts that I've been sprinting with since October 2020.
Speaking of one of those hosts, I think we have another one backstage, don't we?
Hi. My name is Kate Parquet, and I write mostly fantasy and sci-fi, so I have a couple of stories out on Ream if you're interested. You don't have to though. But just for those who do have Ream, I do want to say it's very deceiving sometimes with they are pushing subscriptions, but you don't have to subscribe. You can just follow to get all those free stories. So, that I just want to put that out there because that's one thing that I noticed about the website I don't really like. So anyway, but I have a couple of stories out there, and I'm like Lysanda. Is it Lysanda? Is that better? Okay, thank you. So I'm like Lysanda, where at the beginning of the pandemic, I found myself without my business anymore and a lot of time on my hands.
Mhm.
And so a friend of mine actually introduced me to HB90,
Mhm.
and that's where I got started with the Heart Breathings group and Sarah. So I'm very grateful for that.
And I am very grateful all of us have found each other through Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for being here. By the way, I kind of set out the call like a month ago, and all of them were like, me, pick me. I want to be in. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Awesome. So our topic today is on facing the fear and writing anyway, kind of like a confessional on failure and restarting. We have an amazing set of people in the chat, and we do have to have a hard stop right at 2:00. Mel is going out on a writing retreat, and I have a meeting with a client. So we got to keep running towards that 2:00 and wind down as closely as we can. So let's say hello. Sako is here. Mama
Hey,
Maggie's
Sako.
here. Brandy. Cheesecake Man. Cheesecake Man. Hat Front. And speaking of amazing people from Sarah Cannon's community, Operations Manager Renee.
Yay.
Thank you for all
Yes.
you do.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Renee. We would be
Absolutely.
lost without you.
We just did Double Down Day
It'd be
yesterday,
lonely
right
without-
out of doing Spooktacular. I don't know how you and Sarah had the energy,
Wow.
sweetheart.
Me either.
All the love. All the love. Alicia's here. Sherry's here. Your Donna's here. Tamara's here. Okay, enough of the really high octaves. I won't hurt your ears much longer. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into the questions, but we do like to wrap up with a Q&A at the end. If you want to add on a question, if you think of anything while we're chatting, let us know. We have some questions to start us off, though. True or false? And defenders self. We're going to go around the circle here. I did promise the ladies I would do this in order, so let me make sure everyone's in order. Yay! Sorry, Lysanda. We're going to go ahead with the first question. True or false, defend yourself? Failure and fatality are not the same thing.
They are not the same thing at all. To me, fatality is if you don't learn from it. You can fail, but failure is about learning. Fatality is about being done, not learning anything from it, and not going on.
Lysanda, you want to add on to that? Or counter?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, could you repeat the question for me? Because I don't know if it was my internet or what, but it was kind of going in and out. I heard the part about failure and
It's okay.
But-
True or false, and defend yourself. Failure and fatality are not the same thing.
I think that's true. I learned that through experience. I feel like failure is definitely a stepping stone because, especially in writing, it's a lot of stuff that you're not going to learn until you quote unquote fail at it. And fatality is like I'm thinking back into my video game days, like that's just like it's over. It's like it's no coming back from it. And yeah, so it's definitely not the same thing, in my opinion.
And Miranda, agree, disagree?
I would say they're not. I would say they're not the same. Failure to me means you can just keep on trying, pick yourself up, and just move forward. The other is you're done. You've given up. You have no hope.
Yeah.
You're done writing. You're done in everything. You're just done.
And Kay.
I'll mute myself. So I don't think they're the same thing either, and I think you need to think of them as two different concepts. And a lot of people think of them as one concept. Yeah, one concept. And I really think you need to keep them separate. Because like you guys said, fatality is done, dead in the water. It's not happening anymore. It's done. And failure, I think, is something that takes, steps towards success, because all you got to do, I know it's easier said than done, but it takes time to build skill. It
Yeah.
takes time to build passion. It takes time to, because you mean like, me, where I started out writing and it was like, oh, this is okay. But I was doing it for blogs and stuff. So I really didn't find a passion for it. And that grew over time for writing books. So it's just something that you've got to build over time to get better, and not so much avoid. You shouldn't avoid failure, because you definitely need it to grow. But that's me.
Coming from a K-12 teacher background, I think some of it is we think of F as a failure. I got to repeat this class. I did on like a report card. So I'm sorry, I think K-12 might have rottenized some of us on confusing, blurring that line. And I'm sorry on behalf of fellow teachers if that's the case.
Yep.
But yeah, I kind of agree. It's only in school does failure mean you messed up beyond all repair sometimes. Life isn't reflective of that anymore, for sure. And I think, kind of bouncing off what a couple of you said, you're going to like my definition for the answer to question number 2. And I love how like 3 of your brains all went right here to Mortal Kombat. Fatality.
Yeah.
K.O.
A-O. So define failure in 3 words. That's it. You get 3 words. Optional challenge. To make it even harder. Don't use the word fail, failure, or include more than one negative word in your definition. And some of you are like, holy cow.
I got
did
this.
write tests for, part of my career. Enjoy.
So my definition of failure in 3 words: important lesson learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lysanda?
Oh, mine's is lifelong learning.
Ooh. 2 for 2 on the learning.
Yeah.
Miranda?
Pausing your dreams.
Ooh. I
Just
like
to
that.
pause.
I like it.
Pause.
Yeah.
You got to
Even
pause
if-
before you pivot.
Even if that
Yeah.
pause for me
Yeah,
is
you do.
like 15 years to write a book and 5 years to go back to it.
You did it.
Yeah.
And Kay?
Well, I don't like to really see it in a negative light. I try to see it more positive. So redirect, cultivate, innovate.
Yeah.
You taught. You taught.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
teach, actually. Yeah, K through 12.
Did you see the one, Jenna, down here in the chat from Brandy?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I love it. We've got some good
Yes.
ones coming in.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep. Never again.
Again.
Mhm.
That's
Oh, failure.
I like
equals
that
learn.
one, Tracy.
Yeah, such a good one, Tracy.
Yes.
Yeah, Sherry.
Grow from it.
Grow from
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Mine is I don't quit.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A student wrote that on a get to know me thing at the beginning of a school year, my first year teaching. And I asked them the same question. I don't quit.
Love it.
Yes.
Dang, kid. Dang.
Yeah. Feeling all schooled here.
You would not
Right.
believe how much, and I have parents sitting on this panel. You're going to agree.
Yeah.
Parents
Yeah.
and aunts and whatnot. Teenagers are like little alcoholics, according to Gabriel Iglesias. It is true. They speak their mind, and they don't care how you get laid out in the process.
Nope.
Yeah.
Kids are brutal, man. Kids are brutal.
They're brutal. Hey, Angela.
So describe a moment you realized failure was a learning moment. That word's come up a lot already. And what you did to handle restarting from it.
Oh, this is exactly what happened to me yesterday when I made the very difficult decision to give up on my nano project. Yeah, keep calm. It's only the first draft. But I decided to give up my nano project yesterday, right at the beginning, right in the middle of Sarah's sprints. I decided to give it up because I just wasn't feeling the story. I sat down to write, and all I could think about was, I have like 150 pages of edits to finish on Vengeful Soul. I was supposed to have that book published by now. I wanted to have that book published by now. So I didn't look at not doing the nano project as a failure. I looked at it as a way that it was the thing that shone in my face that I needed to concentrate on other things. Right? So I don't see it as a failure at all. I see it as an absolute blessing that I did not keep going and burn myself out or get so that I hated it so much, because I will come back to it, just not now. Yeah.
Lysanda.
Oh, wow. I got a lot of those, but I'll pick one in particular for my second children's picture book that I published. Like the first picture book, my illustrator could do everything. So she could typeset, format, cover design. She did everything. So when I drew up the same contract for my second illustrator, I assumed that I was going to get the same product. And when she gave it back to me for this particular book, she gave me back the illustrations, but it wasn't formatted. It wasn't ready to go on KDP. So I was really upset, and I kind of, I still paid her because she still did the work, but she just didn't do everything. And so I put that book away for about 6 or 7 more months. And then I came back to it, and I went and hired somebody else to do what it was that she couldn't do. And they did it fast, so I could have looked at that as a failure, like, oh, I messed up, I should have been more specific or whatever, but I was just like, no, I'll just sit it to the side and I'll just come back to it. And it eventually I eventually published it 6 months later, and I was happy with the product. And I love the illustrations. So even though she wasn't able to deliver on everything, she did deliver the most important part to bring my words to life. So.
She did, because I remember you were gushing, but like bittersweet gushing over this in chat one day. Is that project?
Yeah.
Hugs to you, friendo. Miranda.
Okay, writing related, I would have to go back to the year 2010. I lived in the big city, and in the local university they had creative writing classes. And I was just starting to get back to writing after not writing for a while. And we had to share a chapter to the class. I had so many negative comments. And then when I heard their stories, I realized why I was the only one that wrote urban fantasy. Everyone else was romance and I don't know what kind of genres, but none of them was what I wrote. So I didn't give up. I just kept on going. And probably 15 years later, well, maybe not, maybe 10 years later, I finished that project about 170,000 words. And since 2015, I kept moving forward. I haven't given up. I just keep on writing different genres. Well, not different genres, just different stories. And thanks to the Heart Breathings writing community, I have other writers I can write with and are now reading my fantasy stories and enjoying them. At least I hope they are.
And begging you for
just
map
don't give up.
making videos.
Yes, that's in the process for this week.
Thank you.
Yep, just never give up.
Never give up. Okay.
Well, I mean, I have plenty of writing related ones, but I think this one is more poignant, I guess. I don't know. So when I lost my business, I had a lot of trouble finding a job. And I know from the publishing standpoint, this kind of relates to where you put in application after application after application. And you swear to God, you put in like a million and you just keep getting no's and no's and no's and no's. And that really affects you mentally. It really does. And what I had to shift in my frame of mind was it's not that I'm not good enough for them, it's that I'm not good enough for them right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, that for me was a big change. That was like light bulb went off. And so I don't take it as personally anymore unless it's like a job that I really, really want, But yeah, so I just had to reframe my entire state of mind on that.
That was kind of me with rebranding. One of you knows this is true. Some of you are going to hear this and be shocked. When we moved last year, my last live stream when we did the 3, 2, 1 countdown on lives was almost the last video we did on this channel.
Wow.
Yeah. I almost quit. The books were being rebranded. I almost just disappeared and never came back. So it took a lot of work, but y'all, thank you for giving me reasons to come back. Thank you. Yeah, so that was my big turning point, was this time a year ago. Just why bother staying? This is why bother staying. Y'all, these conversations, what we talk about, and I mean, literally, this came out of, if some of you are new, a lot of you are new. This is actually the biggest audience we've had for Soul Care Sunday so far, so thank you all. But the Soul Care Sunday was born out of us talking about what we nerd out about in writing chats anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Our first conversation was food.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was back this past April. Go watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've done music. We've done a couple of different topics around here.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, he took the words right out of my mouth. So
she deserves to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I jacked her up pretty good. She told me she was gonna quit. I'm like, the hell you were.
January, after we moved.
Yeah, I remember.
We had been here for 2 weeks, and all I had done was live streams. And she's like, "Where's your moving vlog and whatnot?" And I'm like, "What you don't know is," and she got mad.
I did.
Cheesecake Man got mad
I
too.
used the mom voice, guys.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I used the mom voice.
And this was it. Tracy, who is also a member of Heart Breathings, is one of our hosts.
Perfect.
And
this is perfect.
This is absolutely right.
Yes.
And also, Cookster hopped in. Hello, hello. Welp, it happens. I like
it
that.
Happens. Love it.
And you are not late. You are on time for you. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 words, Sako, because 2 is a helping verb word. Also,
the editor.
To those of you in creative writing programs or college right now, y'all are going through this on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
It's rapid fire.
It really is.
Oh goodness. I hope things are better for you, Jessica. Hug, sweetie.
Can I say something real quick?
Go for it.
Jessica, that is okay. You will get through it because I'm going through a master's program right now too for writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having to pause, go because of financial stuff. So it's okay. You'll get there. I mean, I've planned out my entire schedule. It's going to take me another 3 years to graduate doing it like this. But I'm determined and I'm going to do it. So it's just, if it takes time, you'll get it.
And that's what Kay's saying with you, honey. That end part,
Thank
your
you.
mindset is rocking it. Your mindset is rocking it.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's all
we
about the
adore you.
mindset.
Yep. And I see so many people are chatting in chat. I'm sorry we're not going to get to all of them because we have a couple more questions. If you do have any you want to add, put a Q in front of it. We'll ask away. You're welcome. You're welcome. Next question. Did everyone get a chance to go on the last one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for confirming. So when failure moments come a knocking on your chamber door, we just got over Halloween. Get over it. During NaNoWriMo and similar events, what habits and routines or mindsets do you resort to avoid completely giving up?
For me, it's a lot of like journaling, and like making pros and cons lists of the decision that I feel like I need to make. Like what's the pros and cons of giving up on this nano project and focusing solely on my edits and my YouTube channel. The pros were a lot longer than the cons, and the cons were all really things like that didn't matter, like the whole, okay, I get to, I get the badges and I get to say I wrote 50,000 words in 30 days. Those things at the end of the day, they don't matter. They don't matter. Your readers don't care. They want your book, right? So that's kind of, for me, it's always about getting my thoughts out of my head and untangling them on paper to make my decisions. And because if I keep them up here, then that's where the negativity will start. So I got to get them untangled on paper, and then I can be non-emotional about it, right? It's like I'm reading facts. So, yeah.
For me, I think I do unintentionally. I was doing a good, better, best type of thing. So even if I didn't make the 50K for Nano, which the first time I did shoot for the 50K and I did it, but the years after that, I didn't even shoot for the full 50K, even though I could have done them. I used the time to work on like second drafts, or like this month, I'm working on the third draft of a project this year. So as long as I know that I always set up my planners for the projects that I'm gonna be working on. So that's monthly, daily, weekly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So as long as I'm working on that project and I'm making progress in it and I finish it around that deadline time that I set for myself, I won't beat myself up about it, because competitions like Nano, you can get behind 2 days and you'll stress yourself out trying to catch up, just being behind 2 days, and it's anxiety. But at the end of the day, just like the readers don't know how long it took you. They don't know if it took you 30 days or 60 days or 90 days to write the first draft. All they care about is the finished product. So I think we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but writing is fun, and it's always been fun for me. And I said coming into this, and in terms of making it a career, that I was not going to press myself to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore. So I'm okay with taking a break. I'm okay with not, as long as I get the work done. So I am a procrastinator a little bit, but I do get stuff. I do get the job done because I work well under pressure. So
I was just about to say, do I hear a slight, I am okay with the procrastinator's creed?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cheesecake Man. I married someone who signed the procrastinator's creed, just saying.
Yeah.
And he is training me in his ways, just saying.
Yep.
Miranda.
Okay. What I like to do is just take a break, take a breather, go for a walk. In the wintertime, since there's been snow on the ground here since middle of October, and some days it's so cold you don't want to go outside because of the wind chill, I just take a break, go read, listen to music, talk it out. I try to journal it out, but yeah, just take a break. But again, don't give up. Keep moving forward.
And you two are both often, at least in the 3 of our writing sprint chats, you're often ones who are vocal about exemplifying. I'm going for a walk. I'm doing a blank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
doing that.
Every
because
day.
you're reminding
Cat
other
cuddles
people
help.
to do it too.
Mhm.
This is true. The cats help.
Cat cuddles.
That's true. As I make sure someone's still asleep. Okay.
I try to think of this as not a race because,
Mhm.
I mean, what is it? Sarah said something a long time ago. Competition or comparison is the death of creativity.
Yeah.
And I remember that from, I think that was years ago that she said
Mhm.
that. She may not even remember she said it, but it stuck with me. And yeah, I try not to think of things as a race. You know, I try not to stress out over it. If I start stressing, put it away,
Yep.
just get it out of my face. You know, take a day and just do self-care or something, or just something else, period. You know, go outside, do another project. You know, it's just, yeah. So the mindset is I'm not going to let this stress me out. It's not a race and it's not a competition.
Never ever should be. Never ever should be. For
And I'm a very
me,
competitive person.
No.
I
You
will
don't
say
think so?
I'm the youngest of 4 kids and the only girl, so I kind of understand the competition thing. I grew up with all boys, so yeah, I hear that. But also with the growing up with all boys, for me, it's often a habit of a routine that I have to say just because I'm a girl, doesn't mean I can't do it.
Yep.
Just I'm a girl, I can do whatever I want. Dang it, is often when I have to remind myself because oh, my father knew that would make me so angry so quick growing up. You can't because you're a girl. Watch me, Dad. Watch me.
Anything you can do, I can do better. What is that song from that doll
Yeah.
or whatever it was way back when?
Yeah.
This will probably get this video tagged, if not me in trouble. But if I carry a boy full term as a woman and I have a son, doesn't that mean I technically grew a pair?
Oh.
Somebody said that to me about a year ago, and that kind of connected with the I'm a girl, I can do whatever I want. And I'm like, I literally
I
can do whatever
can.
I want.
Oh, I love it.
I said, oh
love
my
it.
God. So to all of you boy moms out there, when someone tells you to, tell them I have sons. Technically already I did. Anyway.
Yeah. I love it.
You're welcome for the chuckles. You're welcome for the chuckles. Everyone got a chance on that last one, right?
Mhm.
I think so. Okay. We have a couple of more questions before we get to our Q&A for the audience. I see a lot of awesome chat coming in. The journaling is a good suggestion as well. And Sako indeed has been rocking it out. Sako's been trying to quit smoking off and on for like a couple of months. And we all know
It's
how
so
hard that can
hard.
be.
It's so hard. As somebody who started smoking when they were 13
Hmm.
and did not quit until
Yeah.
they found out they were pregnant at 23
Mhm.
and then started up again after the kid was born. It is so hard, but I promise you, it is so worth it.
Mhm.
So
And
worth it.
you know what, Sako? Every time you feel like picking up a cig, you let me know and we'll get your butt in the chair and we'll chat. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
If we'll try and make time to help you, buddy. Well, because you're
It's
right.
hard as a writer. You know, like I quit. It's been 12, 13 years since I
Mhm.
quit, and I still crave a cigarette, and it's when I'm writing.
For
Because
some people,
Mhm.
I used to have that habit of I would get stuck, so I would go outside and I
Mhm.
would have a cigarette, and by the time I was
Mhm.
done the cigarette, I knew what I
Yeah.
had to do.
I
So
went
when
to
I hit
college
writer's
with people
block,
who were the
I
same
want a
way.
cigarette.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
so hard.
Yep.
It's
Or
so hard.
there's a couple of English teachers I taught with where if even on weekends, if they didn't go during their scheduled school lunch break time, their body
Yep.
let them know it. So
Yep.
anyone who's trying to change any type of habit during nano, let alone on top of it, kudos to you.
Yep. Yeah.
Kudos to you. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Changing any habit.
Oh, Sako.
The magical sig.
There is something magical about a cig break. I grew up in a house full of smokers. I
It really
understand.
is. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, getting this one to more writerly friendly, not things you shouldn't do to your lungs, I guess the algorithm would say. What is your favorite quote or person who talks about failure and restarting?
Not so much failure and restarting, but I actually have it. Oh, I must have moved it. Used to have it back on the table back here. Is I know that there's a famous person who said the quote, but my grandfather also said it to me, and it is, "There are no shortcuts to any place worth going."
Yeah.
And to me, that means that you have to fail, get back up, go, fail, get back up,
Mhm.
go, and that's something that I live by. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going.
Cassandra.
And I'm a big quote buff, so I'm not sure if this quote is about failure and success, but I think it should be. It's good for writing, and I have it up right in front of me on my wall, and I look at it every day. And it's the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just a single step. That's it. If you never start, how
Yeah.
can you ever accomplish anything? So,
That's true. Miranda.
I'm not a big quote person, but when I see them, I like them, but I never write them down. So I'm going to have to go with all those sound great. I remember something about creativity doesn't work unless you turn on the faucet.
mhm.
But I'm going to
Yeah.
go with anything that Sarah says in her videos, coffee chats, whatever.
Yeah.
And also another one on YouTube is HK Darkwood.
Yeah.
If you don't follow her and go to her
Yeah.
streams, you should. She is amazing.
Mhm.
And
I
I
adore
may
HK.
even remember hearing something that Mel has said on her videos, and Jody Jean Daniels and Melissa. And Jenna. Just they're out there.
She likes to pass them on
I
to
should make that
others
quote
by.
book.
Well, no, it's the fact that you do often agree with them. Like when we do Cup of Positivity, you always have like another thing to add on to it. So no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Thank you, Miranda, by the way.
I try.
Okay. This way.
Second time on the
Oh.
air.
You rock.
I took a master class from Neil Gaiman last year or the year before. And one of the quotes that he said that really, really stuck with me and just gave me a light bulb moment was, and hold on, I wrote it down. It's better to finish something bad and learn from it than it is to start something fantastic and never finish.
Yep. That's it.
And that's been one of my favorite quotes on writing ever since then.
It's a good
He-
quote.
Yeah, he's such a wise guy. I love watching
Yes, he
interviews
is.
and listening to him talk. He's so humble and he's so wow. He's amazing.
Yeah. I love him to death.
I love how he goes out to support authors who think they're nothing and just randomly
Yes.
pop into their social media.
Yes.
It's like,
He's
like,
awesome.
keep in mind, me and Terry Pratchett once did a whole book signing in New York and
Oh,
no one showed up.
God, that was
And
the
I'm
best.
like,
You're too up on us. Can you imagine being that person?
Yeah.
You did better than I did. Holy moly. Crazy.
and since we didn't get mailed by Mel, like I prepared 2 quotes in case we got mailed by Mel. Put it that way. I keep this one actually taped to my monitor. You can tell that the cats have tried to also bless it with their love.
Yes.
If you're in your head, you're behind enemy lines, so get out of
Yep.
your head.
Mhm.
Put it
Yep.
onto the page. Put it
Ooh,
onto the page.
nice.
I saw somebody say that in chat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also this.
Yeah.
Can't
Can't.
edit an empty page.
Yeah.
This is true. Well, you got to suck at something before you get good at something.
Yeah.
Mel, what am I going to say instead of just start? Do it right. Meow.
Do it right meow.
If you guys don't know who Aaron Dowdy is on the YouTubes, look him up because we took a class with him and a couple of other guys, and I think
Well,
I
it was
heard
Matt that was saying, do it right freaking meow.
all three of them do it. But
Yeah.
Aaron does it in all of his videos on YouTube.
Oh,
And
that's
Matt
right, he
did it to
does.
us for 2 weeks straight, nonstop, twice
You know,
a day.
he puts out these, because we had the course with him, so we got to see a side of him a lot of people don't see in his YouTube videos. And so whenever he says that, he's got this like right serious video going on, and he's talking about like, you know, bringing in all the good energy, and then he says right freaking meow, and I lose it. And I start laughing, and then the intent of the video is completely lost.
His comedic timing, you are in the palm of his hand, and then he drops it on you. And it's like, you watched Robin Williams growing up, didn't you?
Yeah. For sure.
So, good enough for government work, or not the best, but better. Wow, Sako, I haven't heard these in forever.
Oh my God, my dad used to say that, good enough for government work.
I used to work for the government. I used to work for the
So
state.
did my brother.
and
And that's what kills me about it, because like my brother worked for the Department of Transportation, and they used to do things like send them out to rake leaves in the wind, like when it was really windy out, right? So good enough for government work. If that was not a make work project, I don't know what was.
All I can say is they were probably one of my former students, and I apologize greatly. Anyway. There's always failure, there's always disappointment, there's always loss, but the secret is learning from loss and realizing that none of those holes are vacuums. I love Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Love him.
Thank
You
you,
want to
Randy.
talk? You want to talk about a dude who basically looked at all the physical body problems he had and said, "Watch me."
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Speaking of celebrities, what book, show, speech, class, we've mentioned a couple, so feel free to re-mention if you like, or add on to any other educational social media someone should watch or follow to keep them on track with the routine. Because I mentioned Aaron Dowdy, we've mentioned some others.
I mean, Sarah goes without saying on the writing end.
Mel Robbins, hands down. Pretty much anything coming out of Mind Valley. I'm a huge Vishen Lakhiani fan. Like, he is my celebrity crush. I love him. I love everything about him. He has this great big brain, and he's just like a really nice guy. But yeah, so I mean, anything Mel Robbins, anything Mind Valley, as far as self-improvement goes for me. And for writing, I would say like anything that Sarah's got out there. Bethany, I cannot pronounce her last name properly. Adizada. Yeah, I find a lot of her stuff really, really useful as well. And Becca Syme. For sure.
Yeah.
Lysanda?
For me, a book, I would recommend what is that? Atomic Habits. That's an awesome book. Proximity Principle. That's another one. I think that's by Ken Coleman. It's just talking about whatever it is and your goals are, or whatever arena you're trying to get in, to put yourself into place around other people that are doing what you want to do and doing the same thing, which will help you stay consistent and help you grow. As far as YouTube channels, it's a channel called what is it? I Attract Passion, and the young man is so wise, and he does videos every day, and he paints. So while he does voiceovers while he's painting, and it's so inspirational, and it's like next level, and the paintings are amazing. Like, I sit and I'm just in awe just watching him create these paintings. So I'm like, if this guy could just do this, and he tells you how he started from scratch and how he wasn't able to paint, but he knew he wanted to do it, and so he just kept perfecting it. And if you watch him do the paintings from start to finish, it's just so inspirational. It's just like, okay, if he can do this, I know I can sit my tail down and write these stories. So yeah.
Miranda.
Okay, I'm going to go a little different here. I'm going to just say again, Sarah NHK Darkwood. She's posting a lot of inspirational shorts on her social medias. And I'm going to say also the ladies that hosts writing sprints, not only in Heart Breathings, but Sako and HK Darkwood and Morgan Hazelwood, Esty Houston. I can go on, but I try not to miss the writing sprints that with the hosts I've connected to. Even though some days I don't want to write, there's a sprint and I get my butt in the chair and I do it. And that's been like that for almost 2 years. I'm just not giving up again.
You two ladies, I see in like everybody's chat. So thank you.
It's appreciated a lot.
Yep. Other than those 5 a.m.s, like Kay and Tamara, I can't get to them. 7 o'clock in my time is early enough. But now it's a time change.
I have several people that tell me that.
Eastern now, instead of 2.
That's right.
All of us East Coasters. What about you, Kay?
Well, a book that I really learned from, and it's on self-care, it's called How to Be Fine. What we learned from living the rules of 50 self-help books. So I don't know if y'all know this, but about 90% of self-help books are written by men.
Yep.
So this one in particular talks about
Really?
perfection and peace. Yeah. And then it's by Jolenta Greenberg and Kristen Meinzer. And the book basically talks about, you know what? It is okay to just be fine, because you don't have to be ecstatic all the time, and you don't have to be sad all the time. It is nothing wrong with being in the middle, just chugging along. That doesn't mean you want to be like that all the time, obviously, but it is okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of my
Okay to
favorite
be
books.
okay.
Yeah, basically, it's okay.
Don't look at me, Mel. I saw that.
I can't help it. I can't help it. You bring out the mom in me.
Oh boy.
Sorry for
I'm
cutting
done.
you off. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm done. It's okay. Go ahead.
Was there more to add on before I did, though?
If you, I saw RC Scott in here somewhere and talk about another masterclass. If you really, I'm serious. I know they could be expensive if you take them one at a time, but if you get like the yearly annual pass when they go on sale, it is priceless.
One of their big sales is coming up.
Yeah, they usually have a 2-for-1 at the end of the year, actually. So, you know, you can get one and then give away another one. But, and I think the last time I paid for it was about 100, 150, something like that. But that's the entire year. Yeah, that's the entire year. And there are
it's definitely.
I almost said something else. There are a ton of classes on there, especially for writing. Or even things like painting, like Lysanda said, you know, there are just tons of stuff on there you can learn from. But anyway, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
No. I'm at actually that'd be a wiser spending of your money, because what is it? Like you do 2 or 3 master classes and it pays for a year subscription anyway?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
I'd love to take the Margaret Atwood one.
Yeah. Margaret Atwood. I was going to say Margaret Atwood. If you haven't read any Margaret Atwood books, you need to. And what's the other one? Anne Malott.
She's
Bird
an
by
awesome
Bird.
writer.
If you haven't read Bird by Bird, you need to. And Ikeda, another name you should be looking. That was the other person I was thinking of too. If you want someone who's a really good spiritualist. So, yes, I know you're staring me down too. I could feel it. Okay. Anyway. Ooh, yes. The Man Who Invented Christmas. This one reminds me that there's also one, if you know is he a violinist or a cellist? Yo-Yo Ma.
Cellist.
Yeah. He's a cellist.
There's one that is similar on his creative process. I learned more about writing by watching that movie than I did taking 3 years of college classes on English.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking my favorite movie about writing was The Window with Johnny Depp. If you haven't seen it,
that was
The Secret Window. If you haven't seen it,
Yeah, it is good.
watch it. It's
Mhm.
well, because the funny thing is at the time that movie came out, I had this bathrobe that I used to wear all day and sit there writing. And my girlfriend, like, we watched it. My girlfriend was, you were getting rid of the damn bathrobe. So she took the bathrobe away from me. Oh no, it was a riot. Oh, you have to know the movie to know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a pretty good movie. Writer's Descent into Madness.
Yes, we
Mhm.
do.
Poe. Very Poe.
Yeah.
But according to the Procrastinator's Creed, we do it tomorrow anyway. So,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Last question, and we're going to wrap up so we can get our people to be where they need going by 2:00, everyone. So, thank you all for being here. Should you ever seek to deliberately fail, or is progress always about heading for a destination we know about?
That's a tough one, but I figure if I'm going to fail at something, I'm just going to do it big. I'm just going to go out in flames. You know,
Belly
go big or
flop
go
it.
home. If I'm going to screw up, well, I'm going to screw up big. But the thing is, for me, failure is part of the journey to that destination.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
you know, it's going to happen, but I'm still going to do it big and loud and the whole 9 yards.
Don't blame her. Lysanda.
Okay. Could you repeat that for me again? Because repeat that for me again. That question.
Ever seek to deliberately fail, or is progress always about heading for a destination we know about?
For me, I think it's the second. It's the progress always heading towards a destination, because I feel like even if you don't get to that destination, you learn a lot about yourself in the process. So whether it's failure or success, you still learn. It's the journey. It's a journey for me. So I would set the goal, but I know that the process is more important than the actual goal that I'm. But
Kind of
because
like
I
what you
set
said.
that goal, I will progress towards it.
Yeah, and kind of like you were saying earlier, it's one step at a time anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Girl, you brought it full circle. Good job. Miranda and Kay.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Miranda.
I'm gonna go with a memory of growing up with my dad. We would always go on these road trips, either on his motorcycle, family vehicle, or in a kayak. Sometimes there's obstacles to your final destination, but it's the journey and it's the memories. And in this case, just keep moving forward. But some of those trips where I remember we took one with my kids when they were little, and my dad never took the highways. It was always the side roads, and we had to do so much on that trip. He took the interstate, and well, you don't stop on the interstate, but people do when there's a toll in front of you. And we got into a little accident, and that was the last time we went on the interstate, and we took a country road and we got lost. And my son loved it because it was the destination. It was the journey.
He had more fun with all the detours and stuff. Oh,
detours are always fun.
Where we live, we know all about it, right, Kay?
Yeah. There are people that lose their minds around here. Lysanda probably knows that much too, especially the one intersection near the Tyson's Corner, Washington, and Baltimore.
Oh yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about too. Oh my gosh! But anyway, I think that you can't always see where the end is, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. You just have to work for it. And I hate saying all you got to do is work for it, because it's not as simple as that. There's a lot that goes into it, and work is a nebulous term that covers a lot of stuff. And so it's not, I don't know how to explain it. That's about the best I can do with that. But I just think that in the end, you may not know where your destination is, but you'll get there eventually. You just got to work on it.
It's very true. I think with the holidays coming up, there's a song that's very appropriate to tie what you four said together. Rankin Bass, Claymation.
Which one, Rudolph?
Nope. Which one is Snow Miser? Not Snow Miser and Heat Miser.
That's green. That's Rudolph. That one.
Jack
Santa
Frost.
Claus is coming to
Jack-
town.
Yeah, Jack Frost.
One foot in
in
front
front.
of the other.
Yeah.
It's very appropriate. It's very appropriate. You'll walk right across the door and floor and get where you need to be. So very true. Very true. So any other questions or comments from chat? We are going to get ready and wind down. Thank you all for being here with me today.
It was fun.
This is so much fun.
Yes. Yes.
It wasn't so
Sandra.
scary after all.
I told you this would be fun and
Not
good
as scary as I
experience for
thought.
you, ma'am.
Yep, for
I
sure.
told you both this would be fun. So we are doing another episode. I have a slightly different panel lineup in about 2 weeks. We are doing ways to give back to your fellow readers and writers. So there's the link. We're going to tease out on the graphic closer to the date of who our guests are. And I am taking January off from Soul Care Sundays, but there's another collab that I'll just kind of low-key drop the form in chat to if you want to join me with. So everybody, thank you all for being here. Check the links to their channels and whatnot that are in the description box. And y'all rock. We shall see you in a couple weeks or in our live streams and about the YouTubes. And take care of yourself. We know you're worth it.
Love you guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.